there is one thing more important than the strategies you are using to heal. There are two questions I get asked more often than anything else on this channel, by clients, on my other social platforms. It's, what strategies do I need to use to heal? I get it, important question. I was asking the same question when I was healing. The other question is, how much healing work should I be doing? People think they need to do an X amount of work in order to heal. This is a common thing. These are important questions, but they're not as important as another factor. And I'm going to talk about this in a little bit here. But I have lots of strategies on this channel. You're going to have to explore what works for you. I wish I could give you a less vague answer. This is my vague therapy answer for you. But you're going to have to explore it. One strategy doesn't work the same for every single person. It doesn't. And so I offer a wide variety of strategies on this YouTube channel. I can't tell you what's going to work best for you. It's going to take some exploring. Now, to answer your second question, how much healing work do I need to do? It depends. I've seen people do far less healing work than I did and get great results. It just works for them. You know, I did a lot of healing work. I was doing a couple hours at least a day of various techniques that I, discuss on this channel, but I was doing it in a certain way. And so how much healing work really depends. It really depends. But one thing that I see people fall apart with is they start to do way too much healing work, and they're almost trying to force their symptoms to go away. And so the factor that's more important here that you need to really consider is your attitude. Your attitude matters more than what strategies you use, and it matters more than how much healing work you use. Because if you have the wrong attitude, you could be using the right strategies and it won't make a difference. I can tell you from experience of working with many, many people that if you bring the wrong attitude to the healing work, it doesn't matter what strategy you use. I could throw every strategy at you that I know, and we could be here for 5 days if we did that, but it's not going to make a difference. And so it's about the attitude. So I really want to discuss right now, really quick with you all, what is the right healing attitude that you need to actually progress forward on your journey. Take it light and easy. An attitude of lightness and ease. They talk about this in pain reprocessing therapy a lot. It doesn't mean that the work isn't hard. I want to be clear about that, because the work is hard. Dealing with pain, symptoms, emotions, dysregulation, trauma, that's hard work. So I'm not here to invalidate that. But we want to cultivate this light, easy attitude as we approach the work and engage in the work. Here's where I see people go wrong, is they put all this pressure on it. They set deadlines. They tell themselves, I need to be out of pain by this day. They put all this pressure on doing the things right, doing them as much as they possibly can, trying to force their symptoms away. And that intensity and that pressure is not going to work. I'm here to tell you, you are not going to hard work your way out of this. It's a lot of perfectionists with chronic pain. If we were going to hard work our way out of it, it would have worked already. So we need to work on being light, at ease, curious, interested in the work that we're cultivating. Again, it's not about invalidating the emotions. You're probably feeling a lot of fear, frustration, despair, dysregulation, and we can approach that. But we want to have this lens of lightness, ease, and curiosity with it. And we can cultivate that over time. We can cultivate that by just trying things out and exploring. It sounds simple. I wish it was less abstract. But actually exploring, trying the techniques, and seeing what takes place in our body. Being curious about it. Not putting a bunch of pressure on having a certain schedule or timeline of how we're going to do the healing work. We can do our best to cultivate lightness and ease by engaging in some of this. That's the idea with somatic tracking. Over time, we want to attend with this light, easy, curious lens and less of an intensity and a pressure. And so I have lots of videos on somatic tracking. I'll link one to the top here that you can go practice this with. because that's an essential step in healing, and it's essential when it comes to the right ingredients to cultivate the attitude we need to heal. Focus on safety instead of making your pain or symptoms go away. You're not going to force your pain or symptoms to go away. I tell people when I first meet with them, I don't want you to have chronic pain or symptoms, but I don't care so much what your chronic pain or symptoms are doing early on. Again, over time I am, but at first, all we're doing is we're cultivating safety in different ways. This is why I called our approach that we utilize the somatic safety method, because we're just creating safety in different ways. Safety with emotions, safety with pain and symptoms, with our nervous system state. In our lives, the lifestyle that we live, cultivating safety there, having social safety with other factors in our life. All of these are essential to our healing. And so focus on what's one practice I can do today to create safety? What's one activity I can engage in? How can I interact with the people around me or go about living my life that's going to make me feel a little bit safer? And it's not 0 to 100. You're not going to go from feeling in great danger to 100% feeling safe. It's like 1%. What's one thing I can do today to feel 1% safer? But focus on safety instead of making your symptoms go away. Facing fears, difficult emotions, and memories. An essential part of the right healing attitude is we need to approach instead of avoid. You can't heal by keeping your world small. I'm sorry, I know it's scary. I remember trying to widen my world when I was having trauma responses and I was dealing with a lot of chronic pain and dysregulation. It was terrifying. But we need to face those fears slowly, gently, but we need to start widening our world. Starting to see people again, going outside, starting to engage in movements or conditions or certain behaviors that we once feared. Starting to face memories from the past. If you need support with a therapist, find someone in your area, but starting to face trauma memories and working through that. We need to approach instead of avoid. We cannot heal by avoiding. And so I can tell you, it doesn't matter what strategy you use, if there's an attitude of avoidance, our healing is going to stay very stalled. So we need to slowly, gently, compassionately widen our world. View your pain or symptoms as meaningful messages. This is going to be the title of my book that maybe I'll write one day. Meaningful messages. How to heal chronic pain and symptoms. That was a pretty good title. But that's what we need to view them as. Pain and physical symptoms, they are meaningful messages. They are letting us know that something isn't feeling right in our external world, in our internal world, in our relationships. There's some semblance of survival energy, nervous system dysregulation taking place. They're not happening by mistake. Now, instead of viewing them as meaning there's something wrong with my body's diseased, it's damaged, view it as a meaningful message, take cues off it, learn from it, and adjust course. This is the right attitude we need to actually start healing, is stop fighting with our symptoms and making them the enemy. I did a video recently on how to stop fighting against your symptoms. I'll link it to the top and down below so you can check it out. But that's essential in helping us starting to view the symptoms as meaningful messages instead of the enemy that we're fighting against. Lean in to values, passion, and enjoyment. A lot of this healing work is really hard. I'm sorry, I wish I could make it easier, but it is hard. Dealing with emotions, dysregulation, pain, and physical symptoms. It's a lot of difficult stuff. But part of healing, dysregulation in our nervous system, chronic pain and symptoms, is leaning in and savoring. And so having the right attitude involves leaning into our values, into the passions that we have, into things that we enjoy. Widening our world can be scary, as I said, but it's going to be a whole lot easier if you lean in and start to do things that you're passionate about, being creative, enjoying yourself. That's the right healing attitude. Healing can also feel quite easy in certain elements, and we are allowed to lean into that. So I give you permission to do that, because that is healing. That's essential to heal. Stillness, passion, intimacy, these are all essentials for our nervous system, and we got to lean into that and savor it. And finally, have an attitude of hope about your healing. Hope is essential for healing. We need to have some semblance of hope that this is possible. And I know that's scary. We can almost go through this hope disappointment cycle a lot, where we've been let down by so many treatments that we have a hard time having hope. When I came to this mind-body approach, I was skeptical, I can tell you that. But I cultivated hope bit by bit, watching success stories, reading success stories, noticing little shifts that were happening in my own nervous system or to my symptoms. We need to be hopeful instead of hopeless about this approach. And there's lots of success stories out there. I just talked about this a couple days ago, but go check them out on Curable, TMS Wiki. There's lots of great resources out there to help you cultivate hope. So I hope this video was helpful on the one thing that is more important than the strategies you are using to heal. And to recap, it is your attitude. The attitude's essential. So maybe rewatch this video again, really soak in that attitude that you need, and I wish you all the best in your healing. Take care.